in 2019, Pastor Seth called me up and said, Jean, if we started a program to assist victims of trafficking, and there's a salary that goes with it, because USCRI offers this program, would you consider coming back? And I said, I would pay you to come back if I can still work on assisting victims of trafficking. So he said, come back. So I came back, and I've now been here 6 years running this program. When I was trying to write the T visa applications with the victims of the signal trafficking, way back in 2010, 2011, I would be working on somebody's affidavit, calling them back and forth, getting information, further information. Well, why did it happen this way? Well, what were you thinking at that time? Usually through a translator. It was pretty intensive, you know, and then trying to write it against deadlines, and you'd get a request for additional evidence, and you'd think, how are we going to respond so that government can really understand what's going on with these people? And at some point, usually 11 p.m. or midnight, I'd be at my desk, which my office was in church at that time, with my coffee and pretzels, you know, and suddenly I would start crying. I would feel overwhelmed, like, how are we going to get this done? And after this, there's such a long line of more to do. The minute I started crying, I knew the Holy Spirit was right there with me. And then I was like, okay, thanks God, we're going to get it done together. Let's do it, you know. And then I could go home and go to sleep, or I could finish up for now, and I could come back ready the next day and know what to do. And that's how we helped 150 people get the right to remain, the right to bring their family members. And the time to explain to the government what their labor trafficking meant and how it hurt them, and how it still continues to hurt so many foreign nationals who are trafficked in the U.S. This country's been here for a long time, and this kind of crazy stuff happened at the very beginning with the Founding Fathers, just as much as it's happening now. And if you like to read good books, you know, you can read about that, and you can see to yourself, it's not going to be the end of our democracy, and it's not, you know, times are changing, and somebody's going to look back on this as a historical period. And damn it, one thing they're going to see is that there was some resistance to this action of the government, and maybe it was even effective. Who knows? I hope you go back to your churches and look around and say, what can we do here? And I know you're already asking yourself that question, or you wouldn't come on this trip. So what you can do is amazing things that you never dreamed you could possibly do. I have sat across the table from very high government officials in Washington. I sat across the table with Tom Homan, who's currently the head of ICE, when he was the head of ICE in Newark, and he was directing the Elizabeth Detention Center. And I sat across the table of the people who formed the U.S. Committee on Refugees and Immigrants a long time ago. I sat with senators and congressmen and chief officials of the EEOC and the FBI and the Southern Poverty Law Center. I sat with people who worked with Martin Luther King. He was alive. And I just want to pass it on to you in any way I can so that you can do it yourself and pass it on to others. And I never dreamed, you know, I'm some kid from Canton, Ohio, that I could make a difference in the world. But I'm so grateful that God gave me a chance to do it. So that's all I want to say.